folks, welcome to my first like an introductory video really to the painting that I'm going to start, that I sketched in Malta. You can see that on an Instagram post if you want to have a look on there. And basically I'm just preparing today for the painting. I'm not doing any painting, so I'm using masking fluid, and it originally was a fine liner, which meant that you took this lid off, and it came with like a needle top. But what I didn't realize when I first bought it was, once you use it, and this is a good tip if you have one, once you use it, you have to run it under hot water to clean out the needle. Otherwise it gets clogged in there, and then next time you go to use it, it's not gonna come out, and it's never gonna come out because then it's gone hard. So some little tips for using it if that happens to you is, because obviously that's a lot of masking fluid to waste, and you've bought all that. So I've got some cocktail sticks, and what I'm learning as I'm putting it down, because to be honest, even when I used the fluid, masking fluid for the first time, when you're squeezing it, you have to squeeze the bottle enough obviously to get it out of the needle, and then you have to move quick enough so you don't just have like big blobs. So it's quite an art in itself to get that to work. So actually, by using a cocktail stick, I've found it much easier than the first time round, and because that gives you a nice straight line if you lie it onto the page flat. And so what I've done is, so far, I'll turn the camera around to show you, I've just done the areas that are going to be left white. So the lamp, that's white. A little bit around the edge of the house plate. The inside porch door, that was white. And I've also put a little bit along the glass sections, so when I come down and I do this part, I don't accidentally go onto that window, those two window panes. I've done the balcony windows because they were white, and I've left a little bit of space down the bottom for some green foliage to come through. I've also done little dots above this plant pot, so I can put in some colour for some flowers. Also done the same for that plant pot and that plant pot there. And also I've done this white electrical line that was going up because that was quite thick, so that can be left white. And and I've done some strokes on the bottom, coming from the bottom of the plant pot on the window there, and that means that once I've painted around this area, I can get rid of that, and that gives me some longer lines to follow for some green foliage. All the window frames are green, so here the door frame and the two balcony wooden shutters, they're green. So I'll be really careful when I come to do these window frames to make sure that I don't actually go onto the window panes. And that's what I've got down so far. A little tip for you, once you put it down, it's drying straight away, so don't try and go over it, because it'll just pick it up like string and it'll come off. So once it's down, just leave it basically and wait for it to dry, and then completely dry, and you can always add a little bit more on later on. Also, it's good to have some Q-tips at the ready, so you can wipe any excess off with this. You can soak it up with a Q-tip and then obviously just leave it to dry, and then if you run your finger up and down just a few times, it will come off straight away. Another good tip is before you put the lid back on, just to run your Q-tip across the top of the bottle, because otherwise you're effectively gluing the lid on if you haven't done that, because once it dries it will dry to the inside of the bottle. So that's all I have for you right now on the first part of this, and yeah, the interesting part will be the next part, really laying down the colours. I think I'll concentrate on the sides first, and then I'll do the actual house that I'm concentrating on in the middle second. I'm quite nervous about this because it's quite a big project to do in watercolour. I don't want to get it wrong, I don't want to mess it up, but hey, this is how we learn, isn't it? And I'll just go slow and as careful as I can and hopefully I won't make any mistakes.